Good morning everybody, my name is Andrew. Welcome to What We Drive. Today is New England Auto Show in Boston, so let's go check it out. This year's auto show is held in the Boston Convention and Exhibition Center. We've got hundreds of the newest vehicles in the stadium at various price points. Today we will be looking at some of the most popular cars in the showroom, starting now. So right now in the Toyota showroom, we got the first car right here. This is the 2019 86. Not just any 86, it's the TRD 86. So this one right here, it's got a horizontally aligned 4-cylinder 2-liter, and it's got a 6-speed manual, outputs 205 horsepower and 165 pound-feet of torque. So we got a helper here. What is the TRD stands for this car?
So Toyota Racing Development, and this is a specific package that goes onto our Toyota 86 just to increase and make it a little bit sportier and more athletic, and just adds a little fun touches to make it a little bit more unique.
So at this price range, because I see it's right like near the 30K range, how is it compared to other sports car in this range?
Well,
like the Miata and other cars.
Well, the good thing about it is, and love Toyota, the racing history, we're winning titles, of course, and when it comes to Toyota, what we can do here is offer you everything, a rear-wheel drive sports car, 200 up to 205 horsepower, all in a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine, so that's naturally aspirated. So we offer you all these great things, a lot of good technology as well, all the safety features, and all of that's going to come in Toyota's packaging. So that's what you're getting for that price. So it really kind of knocks the competitors out of the water.
Wow, yeah, that's very interesting. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
So going inside, what's really surprising is I actually found 2 back seats. Well, I may not know 86 before, but it's got 2 back seats in the back. But as you can see, I'm about 5'11", and right now in my sitting position, it's perfect for driving, and nobody can fit in the back seats. So probably big enough for a suitcase. And meanwhile, in here you see this kind of suede Alcantara-ish decoration, as well as a 6-speed manual. They took the shift knob off, just for safety purposes, I guess. But overall, I do like the design. I do like how this car can rev to about 7,000 RPM. And in the middle, you do have those switches and buttons, which definitely is a good touch to a car at this price. Here we also have the iRace. It looks like a little car slash 3-wheeler. My mistake, it's actually iRoad. As you can see, it's a very small vehicle with only 3 wheels. I'm not sure how this will be categorized to be either a motorcycle or a car, but definitely fun to see. Next up at Acura, we have to look at the NSX. I know, this car's got some controversies, but nonetheless, it's a super car. Very sharp styling on the outside. I love the red, by the way. You got the Acura signature headlights, which looks absolutely aggressive. And its interiors also got some interesting designs. 2-tone seats and carbon fiber speak of status. Its center console is somewhat simple. You've got a giant knob for dynamic driving mode selection. The LED gauge cluster also looks very nice. And don't forget about the 3.5-liter V6 underneath the clear engine cover, which produces 573 horsepower. So right here we have the new Ford Expedition. As you can see, it's absolutely massive. Let's check out the inside and check this out. You got that little panel going out so you can easily get into the car. Standing up here, no problem. You get inside. And oh my god, this is a very big car. Again, I'm 5'11", and this is more than enough for lots of 6-footers. Exactly, the inside of the Expedition is equally large as the outside. Right in here you have a massive interior, big air vents, and there's no more shift knob in these cars. You basically just twitch this little knob to select the driving modes. But funny thing is, when the car is locked, you can't just move it. So that's a quite interesting little detail. Meanwhile, you also have this panoramic sunroof, as well as it looks like 7 seats in this car in total. And of course, when you are driving this car, the view, the angle is absolutely crazy. You can see everything in the driver's position. Now, thinking about that TRD we just reviewed, that would completely be hidden underneath the hood. And as we can see, this car has got almost perfect score in terms of safety ratings. I mean, for a car like this, massive size, it's absolutely crazy. Now, like I said, the Expedition is absolutely massive. If you come over here, check out the trunk space with the seats down. This is absolutely crazy. And coming on the outside, press the button, the trunk goes down, and just look at how massive this car is. If I'm getting a clown car, this one would be it. So right here we've got the Ford F-150 Raptor. Absolutely massive truck. This is the most powerful one they made. And right in here, as you can see from the sticker, it's got blind spot radars right underneath the brake lights. That's coming on this side of the vehicle. Oh, as you can see, this one is really just big. I can't even just jump in. Do you see this wheel? This wheel is absolutely massive. Just, I can totally just sit here and like laying on the wheel. This is perfect couch if you want to put into the backyards. On the side, as you can see, this monster truck, that's definition of monster truck. And as you can see, the huge grille in the front here. You've also got that kind of, from a distance, look like carbon fiber, but once you get close to it, it's actually just plastic. But overall, this truck just got that powerful manliness, screams USA to you. So right here, we've got the Alfa Romeo Giulia. This one is the Q4 model, because if it's a quadrifoglio, you will have that four-leaf symbol here. I'm not sure the name of it. If you know, please comment down below. It's so Alfa Romeo, so Italian. You got a beautiful triangle in the front, and the headlights just blends in the front perfectly. So underneath the hood of this Giulia, which is sports trim, you've got a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine that outputs 280 horsepower and 306 pound-feet of torque. This thing can go from 0 to 60 in 5.1 seconds with a top speed of 149 miles per hour. Pretty impressive. So now, coming inside the Giulia, as you can see, for an Italian car at this price, 50K, it's a beautiful interior. Not only am I in love with this red seats and black dashboard combination, I have to admit it looks very clean. This shift knob reminds me of BMW, and I'm not quite sure what this thing's for. It's called D, N, and A. That could be driving mode as well. But overall, my favorite part of the interior are the shifting pedals. They're definitely huge and made of aluminum, very nice to the hand, and they're fixed in place. Therefore, when you're taking a corner, you can always know that they're always on the sides waiting for you. We are in Mazda's territory now. They've got plenty of cars, but of course the most popular one is the 2019 MX-5 Miata. Now with 181 horsepower, it's finally that sweet roadster at that sweet price. So right now we've got a friend Michael who's gonna show us who's gonna open the hood. I mean the convertible top. So now you see, unlike the soft top version, which is completely manual, this one is completely automatic. You just hold on the button. It takes about 20-ish seconds until you hear a beep. Now the hood is completely out. And as you're sitting here, you don't see it right behind you, which is really good because imagine on the highway, if you don't have that, you get all the wind noises, and when you're talking to a passenger, you probably can't even hear each other. But with that, you don't see it, but it still feels like convertible. Now it's coming back.
Quiet in here, even with this thing down. You can have a conversation at this volume, and you can.
So now let's look at the front side of this car. I have to admit, I'm a huge fan of the new Miata RF. The red on this red, it's not just any red, it's called Soul Red Crystal. Absolutely stunning color. Well, although I love my Porsche's red color, but this one is not any worse. Look, here's another Miata. Let's go check out inside. This is the soft top convertible. Now let's get inside of this Miata. It's a very low car, but that's what Miatas are for, sports. And overall, this interior, my first impression is very nice and clean. It's not too much going on, but imagine the shift knobs being here. The Miata is one of the best sports cars for the money. And I also made a video in Los Angeles about this particular model, so please make sure to check it out, which I'll post very soon. In order to pull the top up, I recommend taking this piece of cover off, but I will not do it right now. You basically just pull this lever right here. Now you have this thing on, just give a nice push, and making it in place. Really easy, and you can did it in seconds. Taking it off, it's equally easy. You just push this button. Now just push it in the back, give a nice push, click in place, easy peasy. Oh, look what I found right here. The new Mazda 3, completely redesigned. And look at this front grille. I think this car at the price range compared to the Civic and the Corolla looks absolutely amazing and way better. Volkswagen showcases many models, and many of them are the R-Line versions, which looks much sportier. What's the most anticipated is definitely the Atlas, Volkswagen's new SUV that was introduced in 2018. This is one large SUV, although not as big as the Expedition, but still very decent. Interior-wise, we do have a spacious and comfortable interior, 3 rows with individual back seats. It is the people's car, so the center console is relatively basic. This one is priced at $45,000, but there's another one which costs well over $50K, so not cheap for sure. And of course, you gotta look at the Beetle. A convertible Beetle with the classic wheels is just so iconic, and the light-colored interior with diamond-stitched seats adds extra vintage feel to the car. At Corvette, the most exciting car is definitely the Corvette Z06. Not only looks absolutely sexy, but let's check out the wheels. Of course, it's got those massive wheels with yellow caliper made by Brembo, and of course, those are carbon ceramic for optimal performance. Now let's get inside of this Corvette Z06. Opening the door is quite interesting. There's no door handle. You kind of just feel like the little button right here, and the door just opens quite easily. Getting inside the vehicle, oh, this is a very low car to begin with. Bucket seats, very sporty, and oh, the interior is covered with carbon fiber. Now, coming inside the Corvette Z06, I have to admit that this is a very nice interior. Not only you have all these expensive materials, you got carbon fibers on the steering wheel, in the center console, even on just all over the car. Besides that, you also have all those nice and fuzzy Alcantaras, adds extra grip to the steering wheel as well. Meanwhile, in the center console, you can also see that this one right here tells you the horsepower and the pound-feet of torque, which are both 650, and I think that's truly amazing and crazy. Right behind you, right here, you can also see the Corvette logo as well as Corvette logo on the seats. The seats are of course bucket sporty seats with a touch of Alcantara, but overall, the interior is definitely someplace you want to be in for a serious race car. In the center console and in the dashboard, you can see an LED display. But personally, I'm not too big of a fan of these shifting pedals. I think they're still a little bit cheap compared to their price range. The ones in the Alfa Romeos, Giulia, are way better than this. To open the door, you put a hand on this nice fuzzy Alcantara handle, push the button, door opens up, nice and easy. There's not much space in here, however, it's a very long trunk. I think it's definitely sufficient to put your golf bag inside. But other than that, it's got crazy styling. It's got this massive, beautiful wing, as well as 4 signature Corvette exhaust pipes underneath here. Oh my god, is that the McLaren P1? Wow, come check this out. That's probably one of the most expensive cars here in the showroom. Not only we've got a P1 right here, we've got a 720S in a beautiful, beautiful red color, as well as 670 LT. And right here we've got a 570S convertible right there. And here is where you can see the McLaren's signature scissor doors opening from the side. Yeah. And right here we got a crazy looking McLaren Senna, which is absolutely amazing. You got that crazy back right up there. Imagine doing barbecue with this car, that would be amazing. And yeah, I mean making barbecue on the exhaust. So we got a special permission to get into this square right now, but what really got my attention is this new DBS Superleggera. If you come to the front of this car, now, this is absolutely beautiful, stunning Aston Martin. Not only that, a little detail right here is, right on the hood here you have a Superleggera logo, and overall it's got a very aggressive front end as well as completely made of carbon fiber front lips. And of course, if you scrape them, it's gonna be a quite expensive fix. Selling for over $350,000. This is one of the top of the line Aston Martins. This one's got a 5.2 liter twin turbo V12 engine that outputs 715 horsepower as well as 604 pound-feet of torque. 0 to 60 in only 3.3 seconds. That's amazingly fast, and a top speed well over 180 miles per hour. Coming to the back, the Superleggera is equally beautiful. You've got this carbon fiber little wing. It's not too much, but it definitely looks very elegant. Aston Martin logo in the middle, and the overall rear side of it is super wide. Up here, you cannot see the engine, but instead you can see this completely made of Alcantara cover, which looks very premium. But overall, this car, even from the side, from any angle, looks absolutely amazing. And lastly, not to mention that very expensive carbon fiber cover in the top, as well as on the door frame. To open the Aston Martin store, it's actually quite simple. Put a hand finger right here and just pull the door open. Now, as you can see, when you pull the door open, it actually has an angle kind of going upwards. So it is not exactly a wing door, but it's a sort of semi-wing door. And the interior is absolutely amazing. I think Aston Martin has a perfect balance between luxury and sportiness. On the door trim, you do have the DBS welcome little thing, and of course you have that Alcantara covered sports bucket seats. Shifting pedals are fixed in place, and oh, they do have a very nice click, and it's definitely huge. Overall, you do have a beautiful crafted interior, all LED display of course, and not to mention the craftsmanship on this thing. Oh, it's absolutely nice. And believe it or not, you got 2 back seats. Maybe you can fit a baby in the back, but overall it's also got that very interesting carbon fiber on the door panels as well. 2019 Aston Martin DB11 Volante. This one right here is at around $250,000. It's got a 4-liter twin-turbo V8 engine with an 8-speed automatic transmission, 503 horsepower with 513 pound-feet of torque. 0 to 60 in 4.1 seconds, and the top speed is 187 miles per hour. Right now, we're inside of the DB11 Volante, and overall, this interior again reminds you that this is very British, very Aston Martin. The seats, I think they have perhaps one of the most, sophisticated stitches in the world. It's got 4 seats in total, very nice and flat and simple center console. You choose your drive modes by pressing the buttons, and of course, a gigantic stop button with the Aston Martin logo in the middle. If you can check out the back of it, not only you have a shifting pedal, you have 3 more little things. That's quite complicated. Right next to the McLarens are all these Rolls Royces and Bentley and Lamborghinis. Those are even more top of the line. We can't even get into the rectangle, but overall, it's a good sight to see. We got the Rolls Royce Dawn, and we have the Wraith right next to it. Right here is a Cullinan with a almost transparent Spirit Ecstasy in the front. Oh, and right now, right here we have the Aventador S Roadster. Check out the prices. Yeah, that's like my house. Center lock wheels, scissor doors. It's screaming for attention. And right here is Urus, which I'm not too big a fan of, but if I'm getting a Lambo, that would be the one, Huracan. Perfectly affordable if I have the money, but also tons of fun. Right now, right here, we also have the Bentayga, which has a V8 engine. And right here is the Flying Spur V8S, and of course, the newest addition, New Continental GT. And next up we have the Lexus showroom, and my favorite one has to be the LC 500, and oh, it's right here. As we're speaking of the LC 500, we can see that it's literally right here. Speaking of the design of this car, I'm such a big fan of it. It's got such beautiful red color right now with an upgraded wheels, but overall, what's really attractive is consistency in Lexus design. You can pretty much see Lexus logo everywhere on this car. Coming to the sides, to open the door on the Lexus LC 500, if you come over here, it's quite nice. They just give you that little pop-up, and you can see the Lexus logo right on here, which I'm sure is a nice detail that anybody would see. You pull this thing open, and it got this nicely wrapped in leather and Alcantara interior. And the Lexus design consistency was also carried on to this interior. The use of leather and Alcantara is just unquestionably generous. Very attractive gauge cluster with LED display and a physical ring. The dash also looks very sophisticated. Kind of reminds me of the new Rolls-Royce Phantom, where you can place a piece of art in front of the passenger seat. So right in the Audi showroom, we've got this Audi R8 V10 Plus Spyder. You've got tons of carbon fiber on the wing and on the engine cover right now. But the more important thing is underneath there, you've got a 5.2-liter V10 that outputs 602 horsepower and 413 pound-feet of torque. This thing has a 7-speed transmission, can go from 0 to 60 in about 3.3 seconds. That's very quick. You've also got the RS5 in this interesting green color. Personally, I think I'm not a big fan of it, but it definitely gets tons of attention on the road. I'm always a big fan of LED lights, and Audi is definitely not behind the game. What's up with the all light bar trend? Look at this new A7. You've got this light bar going across the entire rear, and in here you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 little individual LED lights, and that looks just so good. And that design element, the light work, got carried on to the front end. Right here you can see we've also got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 individual LED lights, making this headlight absolutely sexy. Besides that, you've got 2 of these, I believe, are sensors for your adaptive cruise control, and overall, for a sportsback, for a coupe, the A7. Here we have the new A8L. It's got longer wheelbase and again very Audi light work. But what's more exciting is this SUV right here. This is the all-new Audi Q8, Audi's flagship SUV that's even a tier higher than the Q7. Its front grille design is quite different from what Audi has been doing, and is probably going to be Audi's new design language. Audi's specialist told me that this car was made to rival the premium SUVs such as the new Tesla Model X and the Mercedes GLE. It shares the same base of the Q7, but much quieter and more luxurious even than the A8L. Before leaving, let's take a quick look of the Audi e-tron. Again, a rival to the Tesla Model X, but it's not for sale yet. You can reserve one right now. This thing has 160 miles of range on a single charge, and its design is certainly very eye-catching. Simply put, the e-tron is a great car on paper, and it definitely looks great in person. Alright, so that was it, guys. The car show has so many cars, we can't possibly cover everything in the car show, but those were some of the highlights today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you do, please consider giving me a like, comment, and share with your friends. Even better, hit the subscribe button because I have new car videos coming up soon. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon in the next video.